Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne, live from our studios. I'm Evie Schok-Porter, and I'm joined here at the desk by two incredible guests, Marcel Dexter Veldkamp and Brandon St. Vicious DeMarco. We saw Dexter yesterday, of course, but St, welcome to the desk. Good to have you.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Give you a little bit of NA over here.
The jet lag okay? That's excited?
It's all good. I had a day off. I mean, I wasn't here yesterday. I got to explore the city a little bit, and it's pretty nice. They have a Christmas market going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. They're like drinking this hot wine and stuff, and everyone's just getting trashed. It's pretty entertaining.
It must have been interesting. Well, we're here for the Intel Extreme Masters, of course. So let's start off by taking a look at the schedule and what we have got planned out for you today. It is the day of the quarterfinals, 2 best of 3s. The first one, Roccat taking on the Dolphins of Wall Street, followed by Aces High versus Team Dignitas. And then tomorrow we'll see CLG and Gambit take the podium here to play their first games in the semifinal. And the grand final is a best of 5, and that will be played on Sunday. Let's also take a look at the bracket to look a little more in depth at the action that we have got coming your way. As said today, 2 quarterfinals, and they're all best of 3s. And tomorrow the bye teams will take the stage with a grand final on Sunday. Well, a lot of action here in Cologne, and the first match we've got coming up is Team Roccat versus the Dolphins of Wall Street. I suggest we start off by taking a look at the roster for the Dolphins of Wall Street, with the note that they have brought a couple of subs into a couple of problems. They have Mazilia in the top lane, Lasagna in the jungle, Baby in the mid lane, Creaton and Masterwork in that bottom lane. And of course, immediately it is Creaton's name that pops out. A pretty good sub, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, apparently their sub had problems coming into the country or something, and they just very desperately need a AD carry. And yeah, Cretan, I mean, he didn't play the game for like 1 month, but said, all right, I'm gladly to sub in, and then they just flew him in, and then now he's playing the tournament. And Cretan is a player that he doesn't have to play the game to be on his level, because he's always been the player that can get away with like 1 or 2 games a day and still be at the level he plays. So I'm actually looking forward to see how he performs after not playing for a month. But yeah, we will see how he does.
You actually think he's going to have like equal level mechanics just for 1 game? I don't know.
Not that, but he won't be like super bad or something, you know?
Yeah, I think
he's going to be fine, yeah.
Yeah, he was also saying how he got up super early, then flew in. It must have been quite hectic for him, but fantastic to see him playing on the stage once again. If we look at the other people in the lineup, Lasagna actually won the 4 Nations tournament just last weekend with Choke Gaming. A very talented jungler coming in there. How big of a challenge is it for these players that haven't played together all that often, I think, at all in this specific lineup, to come here and play versus an LCS team?
I think it really depends on how the lanes get set up. If they just play a standard game where, you know, top lane versus top lane, you know, duo versus duo, and they set up like that, then it'll be fine, because that's what you do in solo queue. You go in there and you just play your lanes. But if it gets more into like the team play aspect, where you do 2v1s, you do lane swaps, I think they could be in a lot of trouble.
Do you think that someone like Creaton, who has played in the LCS and knows that, is that enough that one person says, guys, we need to lane swap, we need to do this, or is this just too difficult with the lanes pushing to figure that out?
I actually highly suggest just play the standard game. Just try to pick comfort picks, strong picks, and then just play your game, you know? You can only hope to actually get a big enough lead in the early game by just playing standard. And yeah, I think it's really hard for them to actually like get like short notice and playing a subs. And yeah, I think they'll just go for the standard game and try to make the best out of the situation.
Hey, back to differ. What if they just pull out the super crazy picks?
I mean, the picks aren't going to. Well, the picks aren't going to be the problem. It's going to be, yeah. Of course, they need to snowball their lanes. They need to get ahead. But you're not going to be able to get ahead if they're 2v1ing. They're shutting down your top laner. Because, like, let's say you have like a snowbally top lane pick, like a Reli or a Kali or something you'd pick in solo queue. If you 2v1 that and you're just the whole team's just focused on shutting that down the whole game, you're not going to get that crazy pick getting ahead. You're not going to snowball at all.
All right, let's actually take a look at their opponent's team, Roccat. Let's get the players up on your screen. In the top lane, it'll be Overpow, Jankos in the jungle, Ryu in the mid lane, Woolite and Vander in the bottom lane. After LCS, they have made a couple of changes to their lineup. Overpow moved from the mid lane to the top lane. We have Woolite coming in there for Saliver, and then Ryu. They're playing with Ryu here. It's temporary, as the team has said, so we will see how that evolves. But generally, how do you think this team has evolved, Dexter?
From my talking to players and everything, I think they're probably like the strongest team in Europe right now, according to like all the guys I've talked to. Apparently, their jungler stepped up a lot. Like Jankos was already super good last bit, but he got a bit better, and then they finally got into the position where they have like stronger lanes. That was their biggest problem last bit, that their bot lane wasn't super good or inconsistent at times. But Vander top support, and now he has a really good AD carry to back it up. He's formerly playing for the Copenhagen Wolves, and we all know that Copenhagen Wolves always has like amazing AD carries coming out. I mean, Forgiven right now in SK Gaming, and yeah,
Reckless before that.
So I think Roccat is gonna be a high, like super good contender for the top spot in Europe LCS next split. And apparently, even scrimming with Rio and having that language barrier and everything doesn't really weaken them. And I have heard really good things about them coming into this tournament, and they seem to be very confident about themselves too.
Yeah, we've also seen, actually, we've been observing them a little bit, and they are really making Rio feel at home here and having the best experience to make a good performance here. Jankos is, of course, a very good jungler. Saint, he always gets those first bloods, and he's just all around very good for the team. And I think that translates very easily in if you have a good mid, he can make the things happen.
Yeah, I think a lot of the map extends off it's like the 2v2 setup where you just have the mid lane and the jungle. It's a lot of synergy with that. But I think Ryu didn't really have a very good performance in, was the expansion tournament?
Yep.
Yeah, he didn't really have a good performance in that. So I'm like kind of curious if he's going to be able to bounce back off of that. But I think their other lanes are strong enough to where they'll be okay. Actually, we ended up playing against Woolite when he came over with, I think, the Copenhagen Wolves for the last promo tournament. And they were a really strong bot lane to deal with. So I think their bot lane is going to be a big threat. And apparently Overpower is... he said he's like the Freddy 1-1-2 for them, right?
Yeah, I've heard very good things about him. He actually transitioned very well into the top lane, and we already picked some bans.
To pick some bans. The first two bans coming in there for Roccat, Lucian, and Aatrox, and Zed on the side of the Dolphins.
The Aatrox? Okay, maybe... Okay, wait, is there like a Freddy 1-1-2 on that team? Where's he at? Yeah, a lot of teams are... they see Zed as like a big priority because it's really hard to deal with Zed split push when you're not an organized team. So I think they're just going to try to take that off at the table. I think that's really smart on their part.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Zed here. Febiven being absolutely fantastic on that, and paired with that Corki, very, very good plays coming out there. LeBlanc, another ban, we know it can be so lethal.
Yeah, I mean, Rio performed super good on LeBlanc, and just want to shut down the threat of LeBlanc snowballing out of control. It's a good ban in general, but yeah, we have to see how the picks and bans go, but because there will be a lot of open picks that should be banned right now, so we have to see how it goes.
Yeah, it looks like they're just getting rid of all the assassins. I mean, it's actually really hard to deal with assassin picks when you're not a coordinated team, and Jarvan's like he's probably the best jungler now overall.
I agree. If they don't ban Lee Sin right now, it's probably a first pick Lee Sin from Rocket's part to make sure that they have this early game pressure and control in the jungle, and yeah, we just have to see what
doesn't Jankos, he's like mains like Lee Sin and Elise, right? And that is,
yeah, he's very famous for his Elise. I mean, he's probably just fall back on Elise if everything is banned, and we just see how it goes. Okay, Azir banned, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Azir is very good right now. If you can play him properly, he's probably one of the strongest champions in the game. Insane late game potential. And there we go. First pick Aurelia right now.
People have been just loving Aurelia. Now, I don't know about first picking it. I mean, it has like a lot of decent matchups, but I don't know about blind picking because it kind of sticks your team comp where you're like, you have an AD top. So I think what they're going to do with this is, since Jankos is going to go with the Elise, like they banned Jarvan away, he loves the Elise, and Aurelia pairs really nicely with that.
Yeah, see what they go in here for.
Lissandra and Nab both are open still.
Yeah,
both
exactly.
Very super good picks.
We've seen some Jacks in the expansion tournament.
Yeah.
And Gnar open, of course.
Oh, I think Gnar is actually a pretty bad pick into Aurelia.
Yeah, I agree. I think Aurelia deals very well with Gnar, usually, because she has just a stun, and with jungle pressure, you can actually snowball this lane very highly into Aurelia's favor. And the second Aurelia has one item, she can actually just shut him down pretty much.
We'll see what they decide to go for here, hovering
Malphite.
over. Yep.
People have been using Malphite as a counter pick to Aurelia because of the attack speed slow, but... Oh, we actually see a Gnar pick, okay.
Well, it's not locked in yet, so let's see what they decide to go with. Against your advice, they might lock it in here, and they will.
I don't really like this because for two reasons. A, like you just pick two AD champions, so you limit yourself where you can't offer an AD mid laner, so you know you have to pick an AD mid laner. And then on top of that, you just counterpicked yourself with Gnar into Aurelia. And then Gnar's like, you don't really want to 2v1 that much with him either because he's supposed to be a lane bully, so don't really like the picks they went with here.
Seeing the Rengar toggled over, having nightmares of seeing Impaler perform so good on that champion. Slight changes coming in. I don't think it's going to be an Ashe, and that Elise, as we talked about for Jankos, maybe.
Yeah, that seems to be the thing. If you want to pick Elise, you'll lock in like an 80 top laner where you just have Gnar or Aurelia, and that's why they insta-lock the Aurelia in this situation.
So yeah, Jankos always falling back on the Elise when his comfort picks doesn't... Like, he always falls back on Elise. He knows he can perform on that champion. No matter how bad Elise might be, he still likes the champion a lot. And we have a Corki lock in too. I think Corki is probably like the strongest AD on this patch, just because of his power spike. The second he gets his first item, and usually in lane swaps he's very good because you just send him in a one-on-one lane and he gets all the experience. And with the level advantage and having level 11 and the Triforce, they can actually just group up and make sure that they use the power spike of Corki's missile damage combined with auto attacks on the tower to have some really good siege potential. And especially with like Elise, Cocoons, always good to have in the siege potential. So they have like very good lane swap already, I think. So
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
you might see
Karma
that
and
already.
Ezreal locked in for the
Karma.
Karma and
Dolphins.
Ezreal, that's really interesting.
Yeah, that's like a weird double poke lane, but I don't really like the... If you get behind it all with that lane,
Yeah.
like the game is just completely
Might
over.
be mid Saint.
Oh, that's true. People have been playing a lot of Ezreal mid, but then you're going to have a really AD heavy team
I
comp,
meant
and all they have
Karma
to do is
mid.
stack the armor.
Come on.
One
We
good
never
thing-
know, you know, we never know.
Yeah, one good thing about the Corki pick is also Corki does a lot of magic damage, so it opens you up to where you can play actually the double AD comp with Jace
Yep.
mid and Aurelia top. So they have enough magic damage with that. I wouldn't be surprised if they pick something like Morgana that does a little bit of magic damage as well. Or even Braum does a decent amount of magic damage too. So, and it's a tank for your team comp.
If they really lock in that Jace, I really like their team comp because they have great mixed damage right now. Corki and Elise both providing magic damage. It's very hard to itemize against such a team, especially if like we have Corki and have like an AD heavy solo lanes. So you don't know what to prioritize for because you have to actually stack armor and magic resist. And especially if the poke is coming in early in the game when we see Jace and Corki hitting that power spike.
So seeing the Nami locked in here, we're actually discussing it before how she's fallen out of grace, and Saint actually had to say, well, I don't understand why to pick her anymore right now.
Well, actually, I think she's good into Karma because she provides sustain against the poke. And they have like a double poke lane if the Ezreal is in the bot lane. And also it gives you really good disengage because they have like this kind of pseudo poke comp where they have Corki shooting rockets and Jace shooting his shock blast, and then Elise can also like shoot Cocoon. So they have this kind of poke, kind of slightly disengaged catch comp, which I think is going to be really good in the mid game.
So it will be Karma support if they stay on this pick, or Xerath support. Can't rule anything out.
Oh, I'd love to see Zara support. I don't
Really
think that's going to
annoying.
happen this game.
And of course, a create on special in Ezreal. He absolutely loves that champion, and now, of course, he's heavily back in favor.
I mean, after 1 month of not playing, I wouldn't have expected anything less than him playing Ezreal. Even when Ezreal is like complete, like not even viable, it's his pick, you know? He just makes it work with weird item builds, and he really likes that pick a lot. Like, it's by far his best and favorite champion, so he can actually like make something work. If he gets the tiny lead, he's a very aggressive player, and he's not afraid to just E in and flash forward and make those pick happening. But yeah, we see the Xerath lock in here right
Lock
now.
in the
Yeah,
mid.
Dolphins have like a really heavy poke comp, but then they don't really have any way of disengaging. Whereas Roccat, you see, they have like a heavy poke comp, but they actually have a way of disengaging. So I'm gonna have to go with Rocat's team comp in this.
Yeah, I think it's just overall more complete. As a
Stronger
whole.
lanes, too.
Stronger lanes, stronger poke, stronger scaling.
Yeah,
no,
I'd
it's very
say
good at
pretty
scaling.
comparable scaling.
Yeah, I mean, Pantheon versus Elise is kind of even, I think. Both fall off a bit.
Yeah.
But overall, I would give it to Roccat, yeah. I think Corki is just
Okay.
providing that little extra.
Roccat definitely coming out with a strong draft here. We'll be back in 90 seconds as the players load into the game. Don't go anywhere. Game starting in 90 seconds.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne. I'm joined by Mr. Deficio, or Martin Deficio Lunge, if I can butcher his name for one last time.
Every single
and
time,
Mitch
man.
Krepo Vospels.
I'm not a bratwurst, mate.
Alongside me. And of course, we're going to be getting into the match in a moment. It is going to be Roccat facing off against the Dolphins. Dolphins of Wall Street. I mean,
It's a great name.
It's,
It's a
like when
good name.
Unicorns of Love came about, and then it's like, oh, could it be topped? Dolphins of Wall Street, I think, may have topped it.
Pretty cool name, I agree. And again, your jungler's called Lasagna. He's the
Are we gonna see some
four-nation
cheese?
champion as
Are we
well.
gonna
I
see some
mean,
cheese from
we're going to see a
Lasagna?
lot of cheese,
Is it
I
cheesy
promise you.
jungler? Yeah, okay. Let's go through that lineup. You can see Dolphins of Wall Street. It is going to be Mezel. We're going to stick with Mezel. Lasagna in the jungle. Bibi in that mid lane as it chased away. Kraton as the AD carry and Masterwork as the support. And of course for Roccat, a lot of lineup shuffling going on. Overpower now the top laner. Zazas, of course, who was playing for and Faculty is now out of the LCS, sadly. Yankos in the jungle, the man that got the most first bloods, I think, out of all of the LCS, actually, if I remember rightly, North America and Europe. Ryu in that mid lane. Everybody will know this man. If you don't, go Google Faker versus Ryu ZZ. Crazy, crazy duel. Epic stuff. He's also the only man here that is the Intel Extreme Masters World Champion. He won it with KT Bullets back in March. And of course, Warlight on AD carry, the new man replacing Selavar. And alongside him is Vanderlife.
And this Roccat lineup here, we were just talking before we went live how there's storylines for every single member. How is Overpower going to do in the top lane? They've replaced Xaxus, moving up there. He didn't have the best performance in the mid lane. He was super passive. But suddenly they're saying in like the Reddit AMA now he's super aggressive. His TP ganks are perfect. I'm really looking forward to see what he can do. And also, of course, the synergy with Rio in this mid lane, because he doesn't speak any Polish or English.
A lot of pinging and a lot of pointing.
Should be a lot of pinging.
Yeah.
We're seeing a very solo queue-esque start here. Like, I haven't been scrimming at all anymore, so I've just been indulging in the sweet, sweet taste of solo queue. And this is what happens every game. So maybe Dolphins actually have a decent start here. There's no cheese, there's no lane swap. It's full-on standard. And yeah, this is what they need, I think, to have any shot in this game.
Yeah, both bottom lanes doing a camp here. Let's see if they actually give the XP over to the carry on the side of Roccat. Vanda is stepping away from it, so they might want to give it over or just share it.
I
Decided to
really
share it in
think
the end.
sharing is way better.
Did as well here with the Nami pick. You want to get that level 2 on Nami.
Yeah,
Karma, we're gonna see the poke.
Yeah, both sharing it. That means if they get into lane here, one creep will be dead. I think on each side. If they actually, Dolphins got really lucky. They did the Grom really quick and they got all the creeps, so they might actually level up. I think they level up on this creep right here. Yep, they're level 2 and they're going in for a trade.
Going straight in, Kraton got caught with the bubble mid-arcane shift. That's a little unlucky. That would have slowed things down. It may well have got Warlight if that wasn't the case.
A lot of poke early on here. I mean, you need the Nami here, you need the heal to come in, and you can't really trade with the Karma early on, so you have to rely now on your AD carry, basically dodging around the Karma early, and this is just a super bad start for Roccat. And one of the reasons some AD carries really like Israel is because you have so much damage at level 1 to take down this Grump very fast, get down to the lane, and get the early level 2.
No, I really like this lane, especially purple side. Gromp dies a little quicker than Golems, and it allows you to get into the lane just in time. You saw that creep barely died in range, and that means they hit a full melee creep of range of XP more, which means a melee creep to level up. If you miss that, you need 2 range creeps, and that will make the world difference. And they exploited that really well. So good laning here so far from the Dolphins.
Glad I've got 2 supports alongside me to entertain exactly what is going on down that bottom lane. Of course, Dolphins of Wall Street coming into this one as rank outsiders. Roccat, some consider honestly the favourites for this entire tournament, so literally will be coming into this with nothing to lose, nothing at all.
Yeah.
And then you see Kraton coming in, like we did talk about the fact that he's been playing Counter-Strike non-stop. He's not been playing League of Legends much, but when he comes in with that mentality, he's just like, fine, I'll just play reckless and crazy.
Yeah, zero
And it may
pressure.
actually catch people out, because sometimes as a pro, you're expecting a pro to react like a pro. But if he reacts like just some crazy random dude from solo queue, you're just like, what is he doing? Why would he ever do this? And he catches you out sometimes.
Exactly, and I mean, Kraton at the moment, after Millennium disbanded their League of Legends lineup, he's a free agent. This is a chance for him to show what he can do even without practicing League of Legends for a month, and see if any teams would be interested in picking him up if he performs well.
I really like that little move from Jankos there. He was done with his jungle. Instead of going for another camp, he basically did like a little invade to see if he can spot Pantheon. If you can track Pantheon in the jungler and you don't get surprised by an early gank, if he doesn't get a kill before 6, he's gonna suffer into the mid game really hard.
And I want to see up in this top lane here if Overpower is actually going to max E on Aurelia. We saw it doing Worlds a lot, but we have then been seeing a lot of Aurelias just go for the standard max W here just for these short trades in or get a few auto attacks in the trades. But if you max your E and you have a guy like Yankos who can gank for you, you can set up these easy ganks on a Gnar, even lock him down before he gets a chance to jump away and just kill him.
Yeah, there's a lot of debate upstairs, actually. I know Zion Spartan and co, which is what St. Vicious just alluded to on the analyst desk, talking about this matchup, because it was perceived that actually Gnar was stronger, but now a lot of people think Aurelio actually is a lot stronger. Once you hit that 6, once you get that ulti going, you can kind of out-duel Gnar.
Yeah, it's a big deal getting level 6, and especially just if you get that small lead. Once you have your Trinity Force, you become so strong on Aurelia. Let's see what happens here. They're going for him.
Well, he flashed just at the right moment, just as that pounce came in from Lasagna, and they're turning it back around. You can see he's going to get the help of Jankos, the man that gets all the first bloods. Will they get it this time away? You can see he's going to continue chasing. His top lane has not followed him. Lasagna very low on this one. Now Messi is going to get stunned up as well. Jankos taking him down.
Another
Does
one.
get first blood once again. They get a 2-for-0, and Roccat in the lead.
And look at the overpower here. He is maxing his E, so he got 2 stuns off in this fight. He had long stuns, and then Jankos, he knew he could just jump, clean up, finish the Pantheon first, and then kill Gnar after.
Impressive acting from Overpower as well. Lasagna walked in on that ward and he didn't even flinch because he knew Jankos was close. All he had to do was stall enough time, fragmented him. Yes, he had to burn his flash, but they chased him long enough that Jankos came in, landed the cocoon, and you could see that was a sign of a great jungler. He was 1v2, but he repelled it aggressively, and he knew, no, you guys don't have the damage to take me down. I will kill at least one of you. My team will come back me up and kill the second guy, and now Roccat is 2-0 in the lead.
And the acting is so important, so you don't want to give away that your jungler is coming. And actually, from watching the expansion tournament, we often saw when the jungler would go for the gank, then the mid lane or top lane would just instantly go in and gave it away. The enemy mid lane or top lane could just flash back to his own tower, or dash away or whatever, and survive it. This time around, the Overpower and Jankos showing the synergy they did have in the mid lane beforehand. There were often a lot of first bloods there. Overpower was just too passive to have any pressure after.
Jankos taking damage, but look at that. Quickly turns it back around, and BB takes a fair amount of punishment. They know that Pink Ward's down. They were looking to try and collapse on him, but it's just not working. They're getting countered every step of the way, and Roccat are dealing just as much damage back. And you know, going back into obviously the switch around, Overpower now going to the top lane. He was never a standard mid laner. He always used to pull out some random mid champions, and yes, Peke and Froggen did get those farming records against him because he played fairly passively, but actually playing fairly passively kind of suits the top lane. You know, it is a long farming session often. You know, he's actually going back on towards Mezel. Mezel's going to just bounce away from this one, should be home free, but he's already got that synergy with his jungler because he's had it from the mid lane.
And that again is one of the reasons this Aurelia pick is so important for him, because you can max your stun, you can sit back and farm, take a bit of poke, and then you just dash forward, stun the Gnar when Jankos arrives, and that way you don't even get punished by playing passive. You actually just set up a lot of easy ganks for your jungler. And at the same time, you have your teleport. So you can use that to impact the map where you don't have to do it one-on-one in the lane.
I really feel if the time goes on like this, Rockat's composition gets a lot better though. I want to see what they do around the 20-minute mark mid-game. If they can group up, look at what they have. We already mentioned at the analyst test. Elise Cocoon, Jace poke, Corki poke, disengage from Nami. I don't see what answers Dolphins are going to have, especially with Pantheon falling behind. Look, he's still level 4 right now, struggling with his buff. A level 7, Jace is coming in, counter jungling.
The ward is there, Overpower coming in.
Oh god, he's so low already just after that one shot. Jankos could get himself an easy kill there as he comes around. They're going to get the red buff as well, taking absolutely everything they want from the Dolphins.
See, and this is an example of what you don't see in gold count. You look at the CS numbers and you think it's all even, you think these teams are very close, but Roccat, they had that deep ward, they're synergized, they're moving, and they're basically predicting Lasagna's every move. They know exactly what he's going to do, they know he's going to go for that red buff, and they just focus him because he's the weak point right now in their armor, and they're just focusing until he crumbles, and then the entire composition of Dolphins just falls apart.
Yeah, and also again, get the deep wards here in solo queue. You can't really prevent these plays. You have someone that already warded your red buff and they actually communicate together and move in. As a jungler, you're just standing there alone. You can't stop it. And that's also why Roccat can just take full advantage of a team who obviously has no proper communication or synergy together or response to an invade like this here. Just nicely set up by Roccat, no risk, and just got the red buff.
Yeah, controlled trade there on the bot lane. I think they're scaling back in with the sustain now. Something impressive though was Ryu. He speaks Korean amongst 4 Polish guys, but he was there for the invade. He was on time, did well, so they found a way to communicate.
Pinging, man.
That's something that we learned. You know, all the games you just joined, everyone that went to Korea for Worlds, you know, you just have to ping.
Smart
and literally
pings
everyone in solo queue comes to that position.
Yeah, exactly. So they did practice with Rio for a week now. So obviously they have found a system that works. Okay, if I ping here, you know exactly what to do, or have a few keywords maybe.
He also obviously had the time with Millennium as well, so it's not like he's new to Europe.
So he has learned a few things, of course, and Roccat actually said they speak English in the game now, even though they're 4 Polish here, just so Rio has a chance of at least getting some of it. And overall, it's just super cool to see when they're walking around as a team, because everyone is around Rio all the time outside of the game. Want to make sure he's feeling okay and give him some confidence again. And he's obviously here to sub. It's his chance to show what he can do, because we haven't seen much from him lately. He needs to shine.
See, I just want to highlight something regarding the vision control. We have 3 pink wards on the left side of the map. We have the Skull Crab taken down by Jankos. Jankos level 7 now. Lasagna is just hit 6, so he's a full level, if not a level and a half behind. And Roccat is just in complete control of this game. They can't even cross the river right now, and they're attempting Dragon.
It's interesting. I remember, Mezel's getting in trouble here. He's not going to get out of this one. Overpower flashes in, gets the kill. Nicely done. Easy stuff.
Yeah, you get the lead, you max your E, you have the Sheen, you got to take these easy, super fast trades where you go in, you land the stun, and then you get a few hits with the true damage, and you just back away.
God.
Oh, Zeref in
trouble. He's going to get hammered, and Rio gets himself his first kill of the game.
At the same time, Roccat was taking down a kill on top. They did Dragon. The Dolphins tried to snipe it with a Xerath Pampin combo, just realized they couldn't do it, and yeah, they're grasping at straws right now. They're just falling and crumbling.
And I wonder what Lasagna can do at this point, because which lane is he going to gank? Aurelia is already so strong in the top lane, she can escape fairly easily. Mid lane, Jace with the long range, he's not going to get stunned up by the Xerath. And then the bottom lane, well, you have the Koi going to jump away, Nami's going to stay back anyway. Who are you going to gank with this Pantheon here? You might have to just dive someone and try.
It's very hard to play Pantheon if you don't have a primary engage. Pantheon can work as a primary engage if you're ahead, if you can ulti behind him. But at this point, if he ends up behind Roccat, Rockat's just going to kill him and then turn on the rest of the Dolphins.
And the fun part is, now it's exactly the same. You don't really want to be the main engage, because people can see you jumping in towards them and they have to be close to a wall for you to actually lock them down. So in this situation, you have 2 guys. Nobody wants to be the main engage, but one of them have to do it.
Yeah, and then filled up with the rest of it is 3 poke champions. So it's a little bit of everything, but nothing perfect for the Dolphins comp. Well, if you look at Roccat, they thought about this composition from the first pick on. They built it layer by layer, and it came out really great.
Well, they were trying to group something for the bottom. Now it's gone wandering all over the place. You can see he's in the middle half of the jungle right now, completely away from his lane, because that's not working out for him. And that is giving Overpower all the free farm. Going back to the communication issues, and I remember distinctly actually while we were in Korea for the World Championships, watching some of the OGN channel, and they had a good piece about communication in different teams. They had I'm trying to think of Uzi's partner Zero, used to be Zero, obviously he's just changed teams. Zero was his support. They had him on there talking about how it is in China and how they deal with that. They had Seraph actually from CLG, interestingly, since he's no longer in there. And it was interesting talking about, like, Seraph went there and he said his English was actually okay. He could speak a fair amount of it, but he wasn't prepared for how much they spoke in game CLG.
Constantly.
And he was actually saying, like, the difference between obviously Korea and America and obviously I guess Europe to the point is the fact that they were, if they made an incorrect decision, they were arguing about that decision in game. Whereas in Korea, it's like, well, the decision was wrong, it didn't work out, move on. And it was like, that was what he was saying. It's like, I speak English, but holy cow, I don't speak that much English.
Yeah, it's really hard and you get a lot of clutter. Look at this, the Jankos showing up for the gank on top.
Well, is he going to catch him out? Jankos takes the tower damage. He can just repel away from this one. Overpower comes in to finish the job. And oh, this actually may feed him another kill here. Lasagna's going to come in for it. Overpower fancies it.
They can kill him. Yeah,
if they juke it well, they can see Overpower's going to take the tower hits. There's the cocoon coming in. The spider comes in. Repels just in time. Oh, he's got to be careful. Will he take a hit? Doesn't matter. Gets out in time. Beautifully duped. Brilliant.
This combo is just so strong. I mean, you have so much CC, you land a point-on-click stun from the Aurelia, and of course the Cocoon will never miss them from Jankos unless he is way off target. And then you just take down his Pantheon, who's behind. I mean, he's obviously going for his Warrior and Champion. He has to, but it's going to come in so late for him, and once he completes it, he needs to go full tank. If he will ever hit a point where he becomes tanky enough, I don't think he will, though.
I really feel for Masterwork right here. He had a decent laning phase based, got his sidestone finally. He's like, guys, I'm going to get that vision on the map. But then if you look at the left side of the map, there's 3 pink wards. In front of that pink ward is a super strong Elise. This guy, there's not much he can do from the bot lane out, except for ward a little bit, but Dolphins just can't control the game. Look at where Jankos is. I don't think he's been in his own jungle for the last 5 minutes, perhaps.
Yeah, look at it. All the camps are completely spawned, nothing touched. He's just taking everything away from the Lasagna. Lasagna's had no look. The bottom lane has been relatively even traded actually, but obviously the focus on the top and mid lane has completely snowballed this game out of control. It's something we talked about at the start, you know, how Dolphins of Wall Street, they had nothing to lose coming into this, can do whatever they want. But in the same vein, Roccat had all the pressure on them now because everybody is watching them. Everybody wants to see how this new lineup's performed. A lot of talk coming out of scrims saying they're actually the #1 team in Europe right now, which is a big deal when you got the likes of Alliance coming in now. Of course, Rio only a 10th mid laner. Talks of Nuke Duck and all sorts going into that mid lane. Nothing's been announced officially yet, so we'll find out. Looks like Overpower, though, wants a little bit more blood right now. He comes around. No way Masterworks getting out of that. Lasagna's in trouble. He gets caught out. Quick double kill for Overpower. And this new top lane, it seems to be working out well for him. He's got 6 kills already. He's going to back away, but I think they're going to turn this. Look at Ryu. He's coming in at the side. Quick bubble catches on towards it. There's the shot flash straight on towards him. Woolite flashes for it. Doesn't quite get it down.
Oh, a few seconds.
There's going to be Ryu. Flashes through. Says, I want to be involved in some of this. And now they can't defend this. They have to back away.
Yeah, one by one, Dolphins all volunteer as tribute as they stand before a full Roccat team. They teleport in, just have to jump out immediately, half-page speed. There's nothing they can do. It's 10-0, really big gold lead, and Rocket's playing really crisp, both in terms of play, vision control, and builds official. Finally seeing that Sorcerer's Shoes on Elise that you've been talking about so much.
Yes, I'm very happy to see an Elise not going for mobility boots or straight up building full tank here. You want to get this early magic penetration. It just you become so strong and more kills.
Surge straight away. Masterworks going to get hammered, and now is going to see the Pantheon drop. Is it enough? Ryu, could he go down? He is.
They killed the Korean.
A Korean, but they're going to pay the price. I feel here as Yankos comes in.
It is worth.
Gets his 7th kill.
Hashtag worth in hot chat.
Faker did it, Lasagna did it, and that is all that matters.
Faker is literally Lasagna. Oh, Lasagna is literally a Faker right now.
Well, I mean, so at this point in the game, there's not a whole lot to say anymore. Roccat, you just pointed out, they're so far ahead. The warding has been great. I like the fact they've basically been saying we don't care about the bottom lane because technically the support will always have the bottom lane warded, so we just keep it passive 2v2, and instead we just abuse these solo laners and the jungler. Every time he tries to take a camp, Yankos walks in and just try to kill him.
Seems like a recurring topic in all these matches so far in this tournament. The trio of jungle, top, and mid working together, and bot lanes being relatively equal. Would have liked to see a little more plays, a little more bloodthirst on that lane. Maybe we can see Leona coming out later because
get in there, Cripple.
I will do the job for you. But yeah, Dolphins, they really need to win that bot lane and snowball and release some pressure off the other side of the map, or otherwise this series might be a very quick, crisp 2-0 for Roccat.
Well, that dragon's been juked quite simply by Yankos and Woolite, and Woolite just left him to it. So that is the second dragon of the game, easily picked up, and Roccat in full control, over 10,000 gold advantage. And we're not even close to the 20-minute mark yet.
I'm a really big fan of the new jungle creep that's been introduced, the Scuttle Crabs over there. I really like the vision control they give. And basically you can hover around an objective, just stand on it and get a speed boost whenever somebody contests. I really like that Roccat takes the time to kill them over and over because that's something you don't see in solo queue. You'll see the support struggling for that Scuttle Crab vision, but nobody cares, you know, only 35 gold.
I'm trying to kill it, man. It's taking me forever. And then you're there 5 minutes later. It's like, I got it. I got it, boys.
I got the vision.
I'm not even sure, though, why they killed it right now. I mean, it's not like we're gonna see Dolphins ever get close to this Baron, and it's not even spawned yet, so I guess, yeah, they just want to show who's the boss here. Before the wards, I mean, look at the top side of the jungle. Again, you have the pink wards in the river here to basically make sure Dolphins can never move out and like flank behind them or anything, and then you just place these deep wards. They can even start moving the pinks further in and just deny all the vision.
But look at what Rockat's doing. Any other team so far in this tournament that has gotten ahead of the opponent has been playing sloppy, but they're playing their composition right. Their bot lane is not pushing against them on the tower just yet. They're 4 in mid. Aurelia is hammering away at the top tower. They're playing the 4-1 that their comp is designed to do, and they're doing it brilliantly. And I really like that Rockat's not slacking. They're not doing any fancy stuff. They're not stat padding, KDA padding. No, they're just closing this game out rather clean. And that Pantheon's looking for a Hail Mary.
Well, I mean, he's going to go for it.
I'm
not too sure if his team's going to be alive by the time he gets there. Does jump in. Actually, they don't turn that way. He's went dead anyway. There's a second. There's a third. Can it be a fourth? They go in. Can they get the ace? Kraton's the one that gets away. But Overpower right now, double the CS, 8-0-3, an absolute monster in the top lane. And that's why they were leaving him in the top, so nobody can compete with him.
And you can see why it's such a good pick to pick Nami here, because once you see the circle from Pantheon, you have about 1 second before he lands, and you can send out that wave. And you know, whatever's going to back up Pantheon, if he goes first, if he is the primary engage, they're going to be slowed down, and they can just turn on the Pantheon. And they did that exactly right.
Yeah, you can do 2 things. You can even time the bubble when he actually lands down, if you know the exact timing of it. So he lands, boom, bubble, and you just kill him instantly. Again, that's why you don't want to be the main engage as the Pantheon. And just Overpower being so fed, That is the reason Jankos goes top lane early on. That's why he maxed the E, so he can set up these easy ganks and completely snowball out of control. So the rest of Roccat can just sit back, clean up a few kills, get a tower, and it looks so simple.
Well, clearly a golfing class in difference between teams. Right now we're seeing basically a, oh dear, Masterwork caught out in the bubble.
Just a bubble, just a bubble.
Well, they may stun him up here. They're going to try and follow through. Will they get the second kill of the game? No. Instead, you can see Walleye going up for Jankos. Jankos taking very low. He goes down. They get themselves a second kill. But at what cost? You can see Overpower coming in. He wants more. Gets himself one. Bibby flashes away. Overpower not going to chase. But it is 19-2 right now. 20 minutes into this game. Clearly showing one of the top teams in the European LCS versus the actual runners-up for the Russian qualifiers, the CIS qualifiers, because it was Moscow 5, of course, that qualified in first place, but unfortunately for them, they had 3 visa issues.
So it was pretty fun talking to Jankos here before the games. He was a little bit nervous because he told me he really wants to face an NA team. And obviously if they win this one here, they move on to the semi-final. They're going to be facing CLG, which is going to be a fantastic matchup if Roccat can take it here. We can really see what the new lineups for the two teams can do. I'm not sure he's too nervous anymore after the way this first game has gone and after he picked up the first spot again, as we always see. And I think he's going to get his match against CLG.
What you want to see is just see them finish it, close it, get it done with. Not like mess around. Yeah, clean,
no messing around. Don't take a bad team fight or take a ban which gets stolen by Dolphins or whatever. You don't need it at this point. You can use it to bait them out of the base. But Dolphins, they should just sit back, send in Pantheon and say, you know what, sacrifice yourself. If you steal the Baron, great. Otherwise, we're not going to go outside of our base.
Vander has deep wards. He leads into the bubble, combos it with the ultimate. Masterwork is just trying desperately to get vision, but he just has to step in his own jungle only to get picked off immediately. Dolphins, they're hiding in their base right now. They're basically stalling their execution. There's not much they can do anymore. Pantheon is desperately trying to push out top lane, but they're getting squeezed from every angle, and it's looking very rough for Dolphins.
No, not bad play-by-play there, mate. You should be looking at maybe a job for that. I don't know. I think there's applications out there, mate.
Yeah, I heard some people retired. Got too old for the job.
Yeah,
excommunicated, please.
Excommunicated, if you don't mind. Well, that's going to be a simple kill right there. That's going to be the top laner, Medjil going down. Looks like it's going to be a couple more as Overpower comes on. Lasagna once again taking the rocket from Walleye, and there's another for Overpower. 11-0-4. The tower's going down. They're rolling straight through the mid lane, and this will be indeed game number 1 for Roccat, done in very quick style. 22 minutes gone in this best of 3. And no doubt about it, it is Roccat that are clear favourites right now.
And the
Intel Extreme Masters.
The Mikhail's on Nami. What a great supporter.
Well, at least he built it.
Yep.
So in this game here, Roccat get comfort picks. Every single role gets a comfort pick here. You have a fantastic comp. You know your tactic from the start. It was so simple to see Roccat say, okay, we're going to go top lane. Aurelia's going to get hit of the Gnar, and we're just going to have him split push in a 1-4, and then we can start sieging up in the mid lane here, and we're doing just fine. There was just nothing Dolphins could do.
Yeah, they basically hit Dolphins in the weak spot. You know, they took down Gnar, they took down Pantheon, that completely just crippled their composition. And at the same time, doing that, they buffed the strong points. You want that Aurelia to go in first, be that beefy frontline, and just have your poke sitting in the back, just enjoying themselves, throwing out some rockets and some chuck blasts.
The weak spot of a Dolphin?
The weak spot?
The Gabber.
The Gabber. They got him straight in the Gabber.
Straight in the chops. So yeah, dominant performance from Roccat, no doubt about it. Big smile from Ryu. That's something we never saw back in Intel Extreme Masters World Championship. Seems very happy actually with life at Roccat. He's obviously, of course, only a temporary substitute, but great performance. Didn't really have to do a great deal, but Overpower in the top lane. Let's talk about him, because him and Jankos, great synergy straight away. The double kill in the top lane early on. And Overpower just looks so comfortable there.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a perfect performance from him, from Jankos. Not really much to say. The guy snowballed early on Aurelia, and you win the game.
Win the game. That's exactly how you do it. It is a best of 3. It's not over yet, but it's looking good for Roccat. We're going to go towards our analyst desk to take us through that quick stomp.
Thank you very much, D-Man. That's a bit harsh, but I guess it is true. It was indeed a very convincing win for Roccat coming in here. And maybe let's take a look at what went good for the Dolphins in that very first game. As we said, that very poke-heavy lane in the bottom lane, and Creaton showing that he still got it.
Yeah, he was the only one who basically didn't feed.
No.
No, I mean, yeah, Creaton was doing surprisingly well as Ezreal. And yeah, Karma Ezreal, poke-heavy lane against Corki Nami. He did a fine job, but the game was kind of over after the first gank in the top lane. I mean, I don't see a way to recover from that huge deficit.
Yeah, we talked about that in the champ select. I mean, they picked Aurelia they picked Gnar into the Aurelia. So if that Aurelia gets ahead at all, like the lane is so done. And then Pantheon, if you get counter ganked, you don't have any really way of escaping. So just there. You give double kill to the Aurelia and the Elise, and they're just going to pressure you after that. And you saw that they used that level advantage, and they invaded on the second red.
Yep.
And they just kept the pressure after that. And the game was just over.
Yeah, Janko's getting that first blood once again. Talk me through the junglers, as you mentioned already. The choice here for Elise, a lot of the times we know it's a Janko's specialty, but you're not really convinced on the pick right now.
Well, no, I don't mind the Elise pick. If they did the Aurelia with it, they first picked it in the top, and then they picked the Elise with it, and then just to pair the physical damage with the magic damage. Because let's say you're the top laner, and you're building armor to get away from the Aurelia's damage, then the Elise does almost true damage to you if she rush Sork Boots. So it's just really hard to itemize against, and if you get behind it all, it's just over.
Well, it's a very strong performance from Roccat. Of course, we can't read too much into it, but it is a very good sign that they got a couple of kills, and they were absolutely relentless with this changed lineup, Dexter.
Yeah, I mean, looked textbook play. Everything was right. I mean, the first Aurelia just warded the brush, and the Na actually saw it, and then Jenkins came up for the counter gank. Even Rio, the subs was there like instantly, so it just shows like overall really great team play. And then the way they set up lanes and the way Overpower actually snowballed into top lane was really great. He even got solo kills under the tower as Aurelia into Na, and then that's what he said in the pick and bans already, that Na is not a super good pick if you don't like. He's good, but it wasn't that just a game for Na. Like, it was a really bad pick in my opinion into Aurelia first pick especially. And yeah, that's just the experience that those teams have over a challenger team or like a team like so it's just very hard to actually do something because you tunnel so hard on certain OP picks basically that you don't really see the bigger picture of the overall game. And Jenkins just counter ganked that one time, and then he actually knew what to do, snowballed it pretty well, and the game went out of control.
Yep, he absolutely does. And Roccat just pushed their advantage. They are 1-0 up in this series, but we, of course, have a best of 3 on our hands, so let's see what the Dolphins can do after. Just a little announcement before we go over to a break. If you're in dire need of a new headset or a mouse, you can win some gaming gear over at esl.gz/IEM Cologne raffle, so get in there and get yourself some new goodies. We'll take a break, but we'll be right back with Game 2.